Welcome guys to another video here on the ManUnitedDaily YouTube channel, and in this video I just want to confirm a couple transfer news that has been happening over the past day or two. And if you're a United fan and you've been sleeping under a rock, then you're gonna have a very surprised and shocking sort of discovery here today. So on Saturday night, Matteo Darmian was officially confirmed as a Manchester United player. So that's a big plus for the team. 25 years old, like I said in the last video, signed for around £14 million, I think, with added bonuses potentially in the future. So that's a very good signing in a area that we needed strengthen, especially last season where Antonio Valencia had to perform a makeshift role there. So we have now a specialist right back who is going to fulfill that role, and he has a chance now to make that role his for in the next 5-6 years alone. So that's a very exciting signing. I think it went very under radar with that one. I mean, if you look just a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, I made that prediction video of my starting 11 against Tottenham. I still had Antonio Valencia as the right back, because I think this deal for Darmian snuck under everyone's radar and was only literally broke out a couple days before it actually was confirmed by Gianluca Di Marzio, I think, the Italian journalist for Sky Italy, and he was absolutely spot on there. So Darmian, I think, a very welcome addition and very necessary as well. So that was the first of the big signings. And earlier on the day, on Saturday as well, it was confirmed that United had reached an agreement with Bayern Munich for Bastian Schweinsteiger. And I couldn't believe it, because even though there's been very strong rumours, and like I said in my video in the last few days, that the German newspaper Bild was going on their own about this one, and they was adamant that Schweinsteiger had decided to leave Bayern Munich, and I still to a point didn't believe it until it was signed on a dotted sign and done, because Schweinsteiger, he's Mr. Bayern Munich really. So could you ever see Scholes or Giggs going? But again, different situation, because Bayern Munich seemed to kind of like politely nudging him out the door. So Schweinsteiger, with the Euros coming up next summer, he knew he had to have a full season, whether that was at Bayern or at United. And in the end, I think the major influence was Louis van Gaal, and that pushed him over the edge, and he's signed and done. He's on a plane now, off to America, and as is all the other players. So I still can't believe it. Absolutely fantastic signing, just what we need. Schweinsteiger would have been perfect if we signed him a couple of years ago, but at 30 years of age, I think he's definitely not past it. I mean, his injury record was a concern just because of last season. He had a bit of a niggle injury going to the World Cup, and obviously playing an instrumental part of Germany winning the tournament. He obviously bound was going to be a bit of tiredness there. So I think the World Cup, and then picking up the same injury, I believe, a couple of weeks later during pre-season, exacerbated the problem. So Schweinsteiger, very low mileage on the clock from last season. I think he's back and fully recovered. That's what he says himself. So I think he's a very exciting signing, because that's what our midfield has been screaming for, and people will underplaying, I think, the off the pitch kind of like influence he will have on the team. I mean, he's won everything, including internationally as well as domestically. So Schweinsteiger be an absolute role model for any young player, never mind just midfielders, and he's going to have a huge boost on that team coming into the season and for years to come. And the last confirmed signing was for Morgan Schneiderlin. And like I said in my last video, I thought, even though we had basically secured the services of Schweinsteiger, I think that Schneiderlin could be potentially the most significant deal of the whole transfer, because at 25 he's going to be looking at the long-term heir to Michael Carrick and Schweinsteiger in that regard, because he's obviously played and adapted very well to the Premier League, rising through all the ranks of English football, meaning that he's counted as a home player, so to speak, because he's joined Southampton when he was 18. So that could have an effect on our quota that is needed for the Premier League teams. But going back to his playing ability, big, strong, powerful, but again, very, very technically very sound and very good on the ball. He could be as significant for us as Matic is for Chelsea. And you see the amount of, influence that Matic has on the play that Chelsea, attacking players can rely on Matic sitting back, and we now have three fantastic holding midfield players in Schweinsteiger, Carrick and Morgan Schneiderlin, and I couldn't be more excited or happier with the transfer dealings of the weekend, because before the weekend we only had Memphis Depay signed on, and then suddenly that picked up, and suddenly three coming at one go, and it was very much like London buses. You wait all summer, and then three come just before the tour, and I think that's a important factor as well, that Louis van Gaal wanted these players before the tour so they can integrate into the squad, and I think that will have a significant effect on the season and the start of the season, especially because last season very, very late transfer dealings, so that had an effect on our start. But hopefully, because these three players already joining the squad in the tour of the United States, that they'll have time to obviously get to know Louis van Gaal, get to know their teammates, and hopefully make themselves at home and begin to adapt themselves, because what we have, or what we're very close to having, is a very, very competitive team who's going to challenge on all fronts. And if we add a centre back, who I think we'll definitely buy either Otamendi or Ramos, and then perhaps a striker who's quite prolific and perhaps quite young to understudy Rooney, then we're definitely in for a great season. So it's a very exciting times for United fans. Obviously, all these players gonna get their debut on Saturday or Saturday morning at around 4 o'clock in the morning for you guys here in the UK. I'll definitely be staying up for that one. So cannot wait to see these three players, as well as Memphis Depay pull on the red shirt for the first time. So again, been a fantastic weekend and fantastic start to the week. Even though we put in the hours at work, we still get these sort of lifts from United. So definitely looking forward to the tour now. A lot more excitement than we had on Friday night going into it. But again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, then please do, because that's probably the quickest way for me to get across any breaking information. So follow me on Twitter at ManUnitedDaily, and you get all the latest updates on there, guys. That wraps up another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below on any of the stories mentioned, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, if you want to keep to be updated with the latest videos, please subscribe to the channel for more content. You can check me out as well on Twitter at ManUnitedDaily, or visit the website at ManUnitedDaily.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.